who is it being directed at when people say, well, you know, Palestinian children are as precious as Israeli children? This is a very important subject to address because it seems to be making an important point, but in fact, it's either making an obvious point that nobody really needs to hear, since there is no movement in Israel to deny that Palestinian children are precious. It doesn't exist. Do you know, for example, and I cite it in my column, how many Arab children, Palestinian children from the West Bank and from Gaza are treated in Israeli hospitals? Hundreds have been treated in Israeli hospitals, and I presume often for free because they don't have the money with which to pay the hospital. This is normative. No Israeli blinks about this. Of course we're going to treat Palestinian kids in our hospitals. Kid has cancer, you bring him to this ward, and that's expensive treatment. But it doesn't even occur to an Israeli to think, well, that's a Palestinian kid. We're not going to treat that kid with cancer. It doesn't occur in Israel. It is a given that all children are precious in Israel. So the people who make that point are almost always anti-Israel or pro-Palestinian, which basically is the same thing. And they're making it as if Israelis and their supporters need to hear that. Oh, gee, we didn't know that. Thank you for telling us that Palestinian children are as precious as Israeli children, as if we didn't know. That's why they're treated in Israelis' hospitals. That's why Israel, probably unique, I don't know, in modern, maybe in all of history. Do you know that when Israel has attacked Gaza after being attacked, they only attack after being attacked. They have actually let Palestinians, Gazans know where they will attack so that they can evacuate that building. And that kills the element of surprise for Israel. But they drop leaflets. They actually text Gazans on their phones, please evacuate your building. We are going to attack it. That's why you should watch our video at PragerU. Richard Kemp, I believe a brigadier general in the British Army, who was the head of all British troops in Afghanistan. He gives this presentation at PragerU that Israel is the most moral army in the world. And this is a member of the British Army, a high-ranking member. So that's quite a statement to say that another army is the most moral in the world. There's something truly almost obscene about having to say that as if the supporters of Israel and the Israelis don't know that all children are precious. So that's number one. When people are making that point, it's an attack. It's an implied or an implicit attack on Israel. Gee, we want you to know that Palestinian children are also precious. Oh, thank you for telling us. We're the ones who treat them in our hospitals. The people who need to hear that all children are precious are the monsters of Hamas, the Nazis who are Hamas. They are Nazis. I've never used that term to describe anyone in my public life, but they are indistinguishable from Nazis. The Nazis wanted to eradicate all the Jews of Europe. Hamas and Hezbollah want to eradicate all the Jews of Israel. And it's almost the same number, ironically. The people who need to hear this are the Palestinians, especially Hamas and Hezbollah, not the Jews. Right? Say whatever you like about Israel. Israelis don't need to be taught that all children are precious. It's the horrible Hezbollah and Hamas who needs to hear that because they don't believe it.